everybody, and welcome back to Lindsay's Little Library. So I'm here today to talk to you about the books that I read in November. So many good books. So November was Historathon, and this is something I did with Amanda at the Curly Reader and Gloria from Gloria Z. Thompson Reads. I'll leave all that stuff below. So we had 9 prompts to follow, and it was really interesting how we kind of connected the books to each other. I was really hopeful to get 9 books read. I did read 9 books, but just not all for Historathon. I did a good take at it, and then I got derailed. But anyways, I'm going to talk about all the books I read. Lots of historical fiction. In no particular order. We're just going to pull them off the pile. So the first one is Out of Hiding. This is by Ruth Gruner. This kind of is a companion novel to an Alan Gratz book called Prisoner B1 or B3087. So in that book, it follows a man named Jack who survived a concentration camp. In this book, it actually follows the story of his wife, Ruth, and how a little bit of what she went through during the Holocaust, but then her immigration to the United States. So really interesting. It is like a middle grade book, more of a memoir, not historical fiction, but still very good. What did I give this one? Where did I put my notes? I gave this one 4 stars. Next one to talk about is The Lost Girls of Willowbrook. This is by Ellen Marie Wiseman. This was the group read we did for Historathon, and then we did a live show at the end of the month where we discussed this one. The 3 of us discussed this one. It is on Amanda's channel. I can leave a link below, so if you want to check that out, you can. I thoroughly enjoyed this book. This follows our main character, Sage, as she's 16. She realizes that the twin sister she thought passed away years ago is actually still alive, and she is being housed at the Willowbrook school. What is it? State school. So she decides to go there to find her, and they end up thinking Sage is her sister Rosemary, because Rosemary went missing. So she ends up kind of being inside of Willowbrook and experiencing this horrific place. So it is based on a true event. This state school did exist. It was horrendous. Like Geraldo did a whole expose on it. So based on real events, not real people. I really liked this book. I gave this 4 stars. There were parts that were a little unbelievable, parts that were a little like, really, but overall, I mean, it didn't really take away from the overall experience and story. I thoroughly enjoyed it. There's a bit of a mystery to this, a bit of a mystery thriller aspect to this that I thought was a nice bonus. So yeah, I really liked it. 4 stars. I then picked up Hotel on the Corner of Bitter and Sweet. This is by Jamie Ford. When I was going through Historathon, I was trying to pick up books that have been on my shelves for quite some time, and The Hotel on the Corner of Bitter and Sweet has been on my shelves. Like, I moved with this book, and I moved 3 years ago. Like, it's been there for a while. So this one takes place during World War II, but we have a 1986 timeline and then a 1940s timeline. So we follow our main character, Henry, as he kind of explains a little bit of his past to his son. So his wife had just passed away, and he kind of has been so focused on caring for her for the last few years that he's trying to kind of figure out himself again. And he attends an event where an old hotel is being rehabilitated, and they discover a bunch of belongings that were stored in the basement, and they all belong to Japanese families who kept them there while they were taken away and put in internment camps during World War II. And so then you go into his experience during that time as a Chinese American student, and his friendship with a Japanese American girl. So fabulous story. 5 stars. I'm mad at myself for waiting so long to read that book, but it was great. Then I have Sold on a Monday. This is by Christina McMorris. Also has been on my shelves for quite some time. This is Depression era America. This is more East Coast is kind of where they are. So there is a sign in front of a farmhouse that says 2 children for sale. And Ellis Reed, who is kind of an aspiring journalist, kind of randomly takes a picture of this, and it ends up turning into him writing an article about kind of what is going on within the world and the desperate times that they're living in, and things kind of go from there. It turns into a bit of another little hidden gem of a mystery that I really enjoyed in this book, but I thoroughly enjoyed it way more than I thought I was going to the point where I want to read more books by this author. This was fantastic. Loved it. What did I give it? 5 stars? Shocker. All right, next I did also read Irina's Children for Historathon, even though it's not historical fiction. It's the Young Readers edition of Irina Schneider, is that her last name? Sendler, of her story, and how she rescued thousands of children from the Warsaw Ghetto. I gave this, I want to say 3 stars. Yeah, 3 stars. It just, for middle grade, I was hoping it would engage me a little bit more in the story, but it really kind of felt a little dry. And because I read so much historical fiction, a lot of the stuff I knew. It went into really big details of the ghetto and what life of the ghetto was, and it's like, yeah, I know that, but like, how did Irina do this? And so the chunk of the story that explains what she did and the courage that she found and how she handled that was fantastic. And then there's the part of the story where it's just a little boring for me. So still a good read. It was fine. Let's see. I also read The House Girl by Tara Conklin. Again, another book I've had on my shelves for way too long. This takes place during, let's see, we have present day is 2004 and then 1852. So those 2 timelines, I know when I was reading reviews, some people like one timeline over the other. I enjoyed both of them. I enjoyed how the story, of course, eventually comes together. We have Josephine Bell in 1852. She's a 17-year-old house girl, so she helps the mistress of this specific plantation and has formed a really close relationship with her. And so it's a really unique perspective from her point of view, being treated a little bit differently. And then present day, we have Lena, who's an ambitious first-year associate at a law firm, given a really sensitive assignment to find the perfect plaintiff for a historical class action lawsuit, basically giving reparations to descendants of American slaves. So really, again, interesting concept, interesting dual timelines, and again, I really, really enjoyed it. We have, what did I give you? 3.75, because the start of it was pretty slow, but once we kind of got rolling and got into things, it was a quick read. Another book that I read that's not historical fiction related at all was I think it's called The 12 Topsy-Turvy Days of Christmas by James Patterson. I've already lent that out to my aunt who was looking for a lighthearted read. This one I just needed to change of pace. I needed to not be so serious because I was in some very serious books for a little too long. So this one follows our main character who lost his wife a number of years ago during Christmas, and so him and his 2 kids have kind of been going through life ignoring the holiday and not really celebrating whatsoever. So his kids are like, they want it back. And so they signed him up for a dating website thinking like, hey, if we can find him love and bring some happiness, we'll bring Christmas back. And they connect with a Miss Truelove who loves to give gifts and starts gifting them with the gifts from the 12 Days of Christmas. It goes from there. It's good. I really enjoyed it. A really nice, lighthearted read for this time of year. It was perfection. What did I give? 4 stars. It was good. I did DNF a book, The Confessions of Franny Langdon by Sarah Collins. I wanted to like this so badly. The concept is fantastic. We have Franny Langdon, who is a kind of house slave in, let's see, 1826. And she is found in the house where her master and mistress have been murdered, and it's kind of the trial of what happened. Really wanted to like it. I struggled with the writing. I got it on audio and I still struggled with the writing. I struggled with where the story went, and it just got strange and weird, but not in a good way. So I made it almost all the way through, and then I stopped. So if you have that book, you know, give it a shot if you want, but I wasn't impressed. So next up, what do we have? I just started this morning, The 12 Days of Christmas by Jenny Bayless, and I also started listening to Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. It's hilarious already. So a couple lighthearted books that I have on deck. And let's see, I've got a couple thrillers to read, got a couple Christmas books to read. It's, you know me, it's whatever I feel like reading. So that's kind of what's up next. Max and I did finish a couple more of our Where Is books. We read about Alcatraz, and now we're currently reading Al Capone Does My Shirts, or Does Your Shirts, whatever it is. But he's liking that. We're a little bit busy during the night, so we haven't quite read as much, but we're making progress. Anyways, if you've read any of these books and you want to chat about it below, comment. Let me know how your Historathon went. Did you read any nonfiction November books? Share it all with me. I'd love to hear what you have. Otherwise, like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.